We are live. Breaking news, everybody. Got E-Man in the home studio. We just got back from Buddy Hield's camp. That's why I'm all sweaty and stinky. He's probably thinking like, man, you stink, boy. Shout out to our boys, 10th year seniors from the Bahamas.
Dope.
We had a great experience. And we'll talk about that, how we met Luke Walton and his assistant coach, Jesse Marmullas. Talking about coaches, though, breaking news, Woj dropping Woj bombs. Right when we started eating, we're like, man, we got to go live. Bro, Igor Kokoskov, new Sacramento Kings assistant, former head coach for the Phoenix Suns. Right off the bat, what were your initial thoughts, brother?
I was excited. I got a lot of joy as soon as I heard that another head coach of the NBA is going to be an assistant coach for the Sacramento Kings. I know you brought up the fact that, hey, I don't know about Luke's assistants so far, offensive scheme.
Just experience.
Yeah. So what we know is Igor
has plenty of experience. He's coached overseas. He's coached internationally.
People know him as a basketball mastermind.
Right. Hey, look it. I've always been, since the hire of Luke Walton, it wasn't, oh, you're hiring Luke. To me, it was, who are you bringing in with Luke Walton? And he brought in Jesse Marmullas, who we met today at the camp. Awesome guy, hard worker. As Luke pointed out, he's been with so many NBA teams, the Raptors, like the Nuggets.
He's been around the league for a while. Started off a video.
Yeah, he was a scout, a video scout for multiple NBA teams. And I've been very critical of Jesse Marmullas about his offensive schemes and how in a certain amount of games, if you have the data, they led the NBA in least amount of sets, meaning they only ran one set the most out of any other team, which to me is not a good thing because you want to run multiple sets, multiple actions on multiple possessions. Because if you only run one action, you become very predictable, right?
Yep.
So what was the thing that I was asking for? They need experience. And with all the allegations, that really delayed some of the things I felt like, and I've said that multiple times, what head coach or former head coach, just like the Lakers, they have two former head coaches, right? What head coach or other veterans would want to be on the staff knowing that, hey, Luke may not be here if this civil case goes wrong? It seems like it's going in the right direction. Obviously, they just hired Igor, and that just answered our questions without even pointing it out that, you know what, I've heard rumors like this civil case may be 4 to 5 years. At the end of the day, it's a civil case. It's going to be Luke's word against the woman's word. And again, I'm not defending. I'm not on either side. If he did it, it's wrong. We've been very outspoken about that. You should not, do those type of things. But at the same time, it's her word against his right now. And as far as we know, he's innocent, proven until guilty, correct? So what does Vlade go out and do? He hires his good friend, Igor Kokoskov. And we know that Igor got a bad rep in Phoenix. Honestly, he got fired way too soon.
Didn't give him a chance.
Didn't give him a chance to implement his style of play, his culture. And it's going to show in the upcoming year because I don't know if their new head coach is better than Igor. And I feel like Igor, we don't know the specifications of is he going to be the lead assistant, right? Nothing's been declared yet. The only thing we know is that Woj dropped the bomb, that he is the new assistant coach. It'll be interesting to see if maybe Jesse Marmullas takes a step back and becomes more of the player personnel coach and not the offensive coordinator. I feel like Igor is probably going to be the offensive coordinator and implement a lot of his schemes, a lot of that nice European style, move the ball movement. That's what I'm looking for, E-Man. A lot of people are on the live chat. We got 23 people right now. Make sure to slap that like button or dislike button, whatever the case is. It really helps us out a lot. We'll get into us meeting Luke Walton in a different type of environment. The first time we met him, it was more in an environment where new coaches see media as what? As
the enemy.
The enemy, honestly, because sometimes we're the ones that criticize him on a professional level. Again, this goes back to what me and him were talking about. I know a guy, I think it's Travis. I don't know what his name is on Instagram, but point is, he was upset. He was like, "Is this Instagram page a hate page or a fan page?" And I was like, "It's neither. We are a multimedia digital company covering the Sacramento Kings, and we only spit out facts." The thing was, a fan was like, he pointed out, "Oh, we're pretty much describing Frank Mason when it comes to a little bit on the lower basketball IQ, high turnover, low assist rate, but he can get buckets. He's a slasher. He's strong to the basket. He finishes with contact." I'm like, yeah, it sounds a lot like Frank Mason coming out, and he took that the wrong way. To me, I said, no, we love Frank Mason. We have a relationship with most players, and if me or him criticize a certain player, it's not personal. It's on the court. They get paid millions. They get compensated very well to be criticized. That's just the name of the game. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want certain people to say, "Oh, you're just a hater, Leo. Like, you're just talking smack about player X." And I'm like, no, I'm just calling it the way it is. If he's playing bad, if I'm an NBA player and you call me out, I appreciate that, because that's holding me, NBA player, accountable. If we're just all yes men, no offense, DeMarcus Cousins, we had a bunch of yes men around him, and look what happened, right? You have too many yes men around yourself, you'll never be held accountable. And he had a lot of run-ins with the media once we started, like, okay, he may not be a number one option. It took us 7 years to realize that, but it is what it is. And not to bring his name up, but that's just an example of, you know what?
So about Igor,
we gotta.
How do we get over here?
No, I'm talking about holding guys accountable. Even if we're friends off the court on the personal level, we cannot let that affect how we actually portray them to the fans. Because at the end of the day, why do Kings fans follow us? Why do NBA fans follow us? Because we keep it 100. We can't be like, "Oh, you know what? He's our best friend. I'm just gonna cover him up and be like, oh, he's great." Like, a lot of people thought we were like Willie whatever writers, right? No, the point is, all we said was, it's not just his fault. It's everyone's fault. So how do you feel about crossing the line of being friends with player X or coach X and still doing your job and holding them accountable?
You do that very well.
I mean, do you feel like you do that very well?
No.
It is just
I'm
like
improving.
I mean, you're improving because you're not trying to step over toes, right? Like, you're not like.
No, I got into it with DeMarcus, and that was enough. Sticking to my guns.
Right. So
DeMarcus traumatized me for the rest of my life, people. I don't want to cross player.
Yeah,
the wrong way, but he can. That's what he does.
Yeah,
I'm just the guy behind the camera, except for today.
Yeah, and normally I like being behind the camera, but when it's all said and done, I like to hold people accountable because I hold myself accountable. I hold him accountable. He holds me accountable, and that's how it should be because fans expect that from us. And there's a reason why. Like today, I was talking to multiple parents, and they're like, "Man, I can't wait for your next podcast of so and so." So he's asking me these questions, and because we are so close to the organization and we know certain things that most regular fans don't, it's like, okay, are we going to convey the truth? Hey, that's part of being a journalist. Like, I went to school to become a journalist. Obviously, we've transformed it into being more media entrepreneurs in so many ways because that's pretty much what pays the bills. But at the same time, our ethics are, we're ethical human beings. Like, if something's wrong, like if we're best friends with Luke Walton, and if we somehow found out that he actually did what he's been accused about, I'm going to be the first one to say, you know what? That's not right. Like, what's that football player that was just smacking his wife? The running back.
One of the Kansas City guys.
That guy, and then the Ravens guy. Yeah. A little short dude. Like, we'll be the first to be like, you know what? That's not right. Like, why are they doing this? Darren Collison, what happened with this situation? He apologized. He's done a bunch of community service about helping out sexual assault, harassment, whatever the case may be. You have to make things right. So going back to Igor, we don't have the analytics right now to see what type of schemes he was running. This is just a reaction of the hire. We love it. I'm going to have to make some phone calls and text some people and get some data, right? This has to be data driven. So when I say something, I'm going to back it up with numbers. That's normally how it goes, and that's how it should go. I can't just say something out of my ass and be like, oh yeah, this happened. Like, no. Can you prove it? And that's the beautiful of just literature. Like, it's not math where it's either black or white. It's either wrong or it's right. This is more, okay, can you prove that he's a good head coach? Can you prove that he got a bad rep in Phoenix? We can, just by the fact that he had such a great resume coming into Phoenix and so much high praise from everyone else, and how he just got cut like he was just a wet dog on the street. Like, no, like this dude is.
You know who he coached?
Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic. He did coach Luka Doncic. Hopefully,
this is one step closer to House Sun Kings. Game of Thrones.
Hey man,
all we need is D-Book.
All we need is D-Book. For other people again watching, if you're going to the Warriors game tonight, make sure to use our code Cowbell on SeatGeek.com to get $20 off. That's a popcorn. That's some nachos. That's a soda and some nachos. That's
$20 off to watch Leo play basketball in the finals.
Bro, Leo VanVleet. Okay, so now
sounds like a deal.
Story time. Again, like I said, he didn't go to the initial press conference for Luke Walton. He had some things to do. So I went, and there was about 1 billion people in there. And it was kind of hard to talk to him outside of all the asking the questions. Today, he comes in. He looks at me, and he's like, don't you got a game today? And I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, you're playing that at Oracle, right? And I'm like, VanVleet. I'm like, yeah, I'm Leo VanVleet, by the way. What's up, Luke? And we just start laughing. You know, like it was cool, man. To like, it's funny because everybody always brings it up on YouTube. Like, well, I didn't know Fred VanVleet had a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And now it's like, okay, people are like, oh my, you're like dead ass. You look like VanVleet. But I was like, oh my gosh. And you know, it's not a bad thing. I love Fred. He'd be the perfect backup point guard in the Kings and playing big time minutes because he's so calm and composed and collective in big time moments. He came back after what would you say he had a son?
Yep. So he was playing
terrible.
He had his child, and then that's when it just clicked for him.
Because he had clicked last year. He was so good. Yeah. And this year, leading up to that point, he was struggling.
Numbers wise, he was horrible until he had his son. And then after that, he's been
this
moving.
Year.
Yeah.
Right. And what does that show though? I'm gonna take it a step further. That shows both you and I were calling for Jeremy Lin. We're like, they gotta sit VanVleet down. Yeah. Coach Nurse stuck to his guns. He said, I believe in you, Fred. I believe in you, Serge. I believe in you, your guy, Powell.
I like Powell.
Norman Powell. I believe in you guys. He stuck to his 8-man rotation, and all three of those guys have had fundamental contributions to both the Sixers series, to the Bucks series, and now in the NBA Finals. They're one game away from being NBA champions because he stuck to his guns, and that's philosophically it's encouraging to me because it shows that, okay, just when things are going bad, I'm not going to turn my back on you. You know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage you. Just like you brought up today, I was like, some of the coaches were kind of like, but I had high energy. I kept encouraging most of the kids because I feel like everyone's not born very good to play basketball. You have to teach them how to play. And I feel like this is just the same analogy, but used at a higher level where, you know what? I believe in you, Fred. Come back to life. He kept him in when I was like, dude, take him out, man. Like, you need to put Jeremy Lin. He has more experience. You know what? And now it's paying dividends. So,
but my question is, if you would have played Jeremy Lin,
right,
and then VanVleet had his baby,
oof,
and he comes back,
right,
and he plays well, he would take Jeremy Lin's spot again. Simple as that.
If Jeremy Lin was playing bad?
No, if Jeremy Lin was just doing, you know what you're gonna get out of Jeremy,
right?
And VanVleet was playing bad. So my thing is, as a coach, you know, you're talking about, I still believe in you. I still believe in you.
Right.
Stick to my guns. What if he would have benched him until he had his baby?
Right.
No, we know now. It's like, well, you just needed to bench him until he had his baby. We don't know if he wouldn't have bounced back like that.
That's true.
Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But in this case, it's a good thing that Nick Nurse stuck to his guns. But all I'm saying is, if it was another coach,
they would have for sure sat him.
Yeah, I think I would have sat
because that's all he heard.
Yeah,
from Zach Lowe, from everybody. Like, why is he still playing VanVleet shooting 1 of 10, like not contributing. I get it. But before we move on to other things about the camp, this episode is presented by BLINDSAVE. Now, I've used BLINDSAVE about 4 times now. It's the sleeves that were supposed to be for E-Man. I ended up using them. I was curious. I was, you know what? I'm going to put them on real quick. And I put them on, and I instantly felt the PAD technology just mold into my body. Like, for you hoopers that are watching this, like these sleeves really, they start compressing into your body, and you kind of feel like if you put icy hot and you rub it over your legs right before you start hooping, you're like, man, like I feel like that heat in there, and you just want to move faster, quicker. Obviously, it's all a placebo effect, but at the end of the day, if it makes you feel good and you're playing good and you got high confidence, like today, like I was smacking them one-on-one at the Hoops Palace, shooting 4 or 5 from NBA. Don't lie, NBA 3-point range.
What are you talking about?
Oh, he's not. He shot the ball.
You won a game. I won a game.
Oh my gosh! But my shot looks way better than yours.
That's super amazing.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Someone who appreciates footwork will like my shot better than his.
Well, my shot goes in. Anyways,
so did mine. We both were 1-1.
No, I made more shots than you did, though. BLINDSAVE. Shout out to BLINDSAVE. Make sure to visit blindsave.com for more information. And if you do, hit us up. Hit us on the DM on Cowbell Kingdom. Be like, hey, dude, I just purchased this. Changed my life. I love it. That really helps us a lot because we have more information. That way, BLINDSAVE continues to sponsor us. So shout out to them. Now, so we've covered Kokoškov as new assistant coach. This is more of a reaction video. Today's camp, we'll have plenty of footage, right? I would see, you're not gonna be here tomorrow. Tomorrow, I would have liked to talk to Buddy more in a professional setting. Where today was so packed, I was so focused with the kids, I didn't even think about interviewing him because there wasn't really any like media session today. Probably tomorrow, you will get some sound bites from Buddy Hield. I'll still take some equipment and stuff like that, but we'll have some footage. You'll have me, in there coaching some of the kids. I had 11 through 13. And then so Coach Walton gets there, Jesse Murray's get there. And overall, I felt like if I was a younger kid and I'm idolizing NBA players and Buddy Hield's one of the guys and I get to meet him, he's so humble about so much things. And again, FYI, the proceeds are going to the underprivileged in the Bahamas. So the people that are like, why is it so expensive? Like, you got to take into account, okay, facility, you got to pay for that. You got to take into account all the food, all the drinks, and obviously those type of things cost money. And the people that are working those at the facility, those people got to get paid as well. But that money is not going to Buddy Hield. That money is going to the underprivileged in the Bahamas for backpacks, food, shoes. Like, it is such a wonderful thing. And that's how, as Buddy said, that's how I give back, by doing stuff like this. And at the same time, we're teaching these kids how to become better basketball players. Trey Slate, awesome NBA trainer, Buddy Hield's trainer, teaching us all these crazy handles. And like, those are stuff that kids are not really exposed to, especially at that age. And you start seeing those things and you're like, and then you start practicing them. You're like, man, like, I'm going to get better as a coach. What was your biggest takeaway from the camp? Like, this is your first camp that you've been to. You've been to DMCs, right? But you weren't really like, we weren't as comfortable, I feel like, 4 years ago. Even though he actually did invite us.
The tables have turned.
And now he used to invite us to everything. It was just like snap, like, whoa. But what was your biggest takeaway about the camp?
I think, well, you had more of a direct relationship with the kids.
Right.
I got to meet a lot of the coaches, which Leo was a coach, which is pretty neat. Mm-hmm. Meeting all the coaches was pretty cool. It was awesome. Trey Slate, cool. Like, all good people, man. They're all good people. A lot of them volunteered, to take time out of their day to, be there for the kids and show them, a little bit about professional basketball. And, I think.
Would you have liked that growing up as a kid?
Yeah, Trey, Billy, Buddy, they brought in really good people. And that was my biggest takeaway, is that those guys brought in a good squad for sure.
Yeah, shout out to our guys, Reyes, Trent, Grant's kid, Just so many guys that just are, like you said, great people.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the kids had a great time with us. The kids are very respectful, calling us coach all the time. Like, hey, am I doing this right? And the kids that weren't doing things right, I would set them aside and teach them, and not really like expose them to like, oh, like you suck. Like, no, you got to be positive with these kids, because at the end of the day, even some of the drills that Trey was teaching us, most of us couldn't do them. Like those crazy handles, and like I'm like, damn, like that's hard. That's next level type stuff. But for them to be exposed to it, I was like that's so awesome. And I would have enjoyed being a part of these type of camps. And I know this too. They sponsored a few of the kids who couldn't really pay the 150. And they came out of their pockets to sponsor a few. I don't know how many, but I know they did multiple kids. So again, great people. Money is going. The proceeds are going to the Bahamas, to the underprivileged. Buddy Hield, man, class acts. We may be cooking something in the making. We're not gonna say it yet, but definitely lots of good stuff. Again, we're super excited about Igor Kokoskov being a new
really good job.
Assistant coach. Huh?
You said his name.
I was literally looking up how to say his name correctly. I'm like, nah, people are always getting on me about names. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna say it right. I'm gonna say Igor most of the time. But if I somehow say, his last name, he's like, can I just call him Coach K? I'm like, no, bro, that's disrespectful. Like
the European Coach K. How about that?
What do you guys think? European Coach K. People that listen to this like on audio, like, what the hell? Why they? No, it makes sense because we're live and we're interacting with a lot of people right now. Shout out to you guys. Make sure to slap that like button, man. What's up, Alfredo? What's up, BL Mac 94? Dewan Dean, Jaime Gutierrez. I think Instagram is down, so we would have told you guys, but I'm sure you guys got your notifications turned on YouTube. YouTube is pretty much always 100. They always keep it real. Their system is so much better because they've been here longer. Instagram's a lot newer, one of the newer platforms, and they've been going down a lot lately. So shout out to them. Hopefully they fix whatever they got to fix. And hopefully you guys caught the live session with Luke Guan, who airballed. What do you think about that? Like, he literally airballed the ball.
That was hilarious, bro.
Not even email would airball that ball, and that's not even your range. Like, you literally airballed the ball. He was like, oh.
He was too soft.
Shout out to that boy. I forget his name. He took Buddy Hield, professional basketball player, to the wire. I mean, he had 3 straight threes. Buddy had to shoot the ball legitimately. And he was like, bro, he almost beat me. Like, this kid almost beat him. And those are the things I'm talking. That kid's going to take that to his grave for the rest of his life. Like, yes. I almost beat Buddy as an 11-year-old. Like, not even him letting me. Like, Buddy was shooting legitimately the way he shoots. Yeah. And shout out to this kid, man. We'll for sure give him a shout out tomorrow when I found out his name. But someone's saying Igor going to be the offensive coach. Probably is what we're thinking. DJ is older and can't shoot a 3. Okay, so you guys want to talk, obviously.
We're talking free agency.
You guys are talking free agency, which, again, we're not going to get into today. That'd be way too much. Other than that, man, we will have more content, if not today, probably tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow at the camp doing pretty much the same stuff. A lot of the kids couldn't make it because it was a Thursday, so more kids would be on vacation tomorrow. A Friday, E-Man won't be there. So we appreciate E-Man being there, capturing a lot of the good moments, a lot of the photos that will go on Instagram, Facebook, that will go on Buddy Hield's page and stuff like that with Coach Walton. A lot of the kids asking Coach Walton a lot of good questions, like, why'd you leave the Lakers? Like stuff like innocent questions like that you're like, oh man, that's a good question. Like, hey, what's going on?
No one asked a question.
Yeah. So again, shout out to Luke Walton, Jesse Marmelias, his assistant head coach for the time being. Then we found out that Igor is going to come be a part of this coaching staff. I'm liking it a little bit more day by day. I like these moves. There may be another hire in the making. I feel like there's still one spot remaining to round out the coaching staff. It'll be interesting to see if we have a press conference or if we don't have a press conference. Maybe we just meet them. I think they might meet him tomorrow. at the workouts, which again I can't be a part of because I will be at Buddy Hield's camp. But maybe we get to see him on Monday. We don't know. Maybe he's flying out. Whatever the case may be, we'll have you guys again always covered. That's our jobs, to provide frontline coverage of the Sacramento Kings and the entire NBA. Again, shout out to BLINDSAVE, our sponsor, for being awesome and making a very, very good product for NBA players, for basketball players, for any level basketball players. You need to have this stuff. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's well worth it because you won't have to buy anything for the next 3 years. Like, it's legitimately great quality stuff. Any final takes? Any final words?
I'm looking forward to the season. What is it called? California Classic.
Oh yeah,
I'm literally right.
July 1st. Damn, it's like right there. We're
there, bro.
We're two weeks. We're 2 weeks
come.
away.
Yeah,
we're 2 weeks away, y'all, from the California Classic. Last year, complete success, right? This year, expecting it to be a lot better. James, his 9% of the show was about some camp, Buddy Hield's camp, to be specific, brother. Him giving back to our community, his first camp in Sacramento, big time stuff. Again, we'll talk about Igor. We love Igor, the hire, what it means to the organization. I think it's the right step for this team. And hey, let's get the AC at least next year, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Just like I said, we just came back from the camp, so we weren't prepared with like numbers and stuff like that. It's more of a reaction of the breaking news. We appreciate you guys so much. Again, slap that like button. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have any other comments, make sure to drop them right there. And don't forget to share and subscribe with all your Kings fans, with all your NBA fans, with all your Suns fans. Suns want to watch this.
House Sun Kings.
Sun Kings. House Sun Kings, man. See you guys on the next one. Let's go.